All right, so today we're doing a deep dive into this program called Stealth Streams. And, you and I, we've been kind of going back and forth.
Yeah, we've been looking into it.
About whether this is something that's legit or not.
Right.
And, on the surface, it's definitely attention grabbing, right?
It is.
I mean, who wouldn't want to learn how to generate passive income through websites?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of the holy grail, right?
That is the dream, right?
So let's break down what we know so far about the program.
Okay.
First of all, they promise they're going to build a website for you.
Yeah, that's a bold claim right there.
That right there is a big one. And then on top of that, they're talking about using AI for content creation, which is
huge. That's the hot topic right now.
It's everywhere. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, you can't escape it.
Can AI write a blog post? Can it write a screenplay?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then they're also talking about tapping into global markets.
Yeah, reaching a wider audience, which again, more potential customers. In theory.
In theory, yeah, definitely.
So a lot of really intriguing elements to this program.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the first things that jumped out at me was the 8-week structure of the program.
Oh.
They really emphasize that it's a step-by-step process.
Right, so it's not just like...
Not some get-rich-quick scheme.
Throw a bunch of information at you and good luck.
Right.
Yeah.
Figure it out on your own.
It's structured.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is interesting. I mean, that could be a good sign.
Yeah, could be a good sign. And then, of course, there are the big names behind it. 𝗙𝗿𝗲𝗏, Mark Ling, Jason Kalori, and Jonathan Gamble.
I mean, those are big names in the internet marketing space, for sure.
Yeah, you can't deny their experience and success.
Yeah, they've been around for a while. They've seen a lot of trends come and go.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes this so intriguing, right?
Right, because you would assume that they've kind of learned from those past trends, and this is sort of the culmination of all that knowledge.
Exactly, and they claim you can make anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 or more per month.
Okay.
Passively.
Per month.
Through these websites.
That's a pretty big claim.
Yeah, I mean, that's not chump change.
No, it's not.
So that definitely got my attention.
Yeah, for sure.
One thing I kept seeing over and over again was this emphasis on buyer keywords.
Right.
And I know you've done a lot of research on SEO and keywords, so I wanted to get your take on this.
Yeah, so the idea behind buyer keywords is that you're not just attracting any traffic to your website, you're attracting people who are actually ready to buy something.
Okay, so it's not just about getting people to your site, it's about getting the right kind of people to your site.
Exactly, and the program emphasizes, choosing those keywords very carefully because that's going to be the foundation of your whole website.
Right, so if you get the keywords wrong, then
it doesn't matter how great your website is if nobody's finding it.
Right, exactly.
So they give this example in the program.
I noticed you highlighted that in your notes.
Yeah, so they talk about dog training as a niche.
Okay.
And they say a buyer keyword would be something like best dog training treats for puppies.
Okay.
Because somebody who is searching for that,
they're ready to buy.
They're ready to pull out their credit card and buy some treats for their puppy.
Okay, so what would be a non-buyer keyword in that scenario?
Something like history of dog training.
Yeah.
Somebody who's just looking for information. They're not necessarily looking to buy anything right now.
Right.
So that's the distinction they're trying to make, and I think it's an important one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because if you're trying to make money online, you got to be targeting people who are actually going to spend money.
Right. You want buyers, not just browsers.
Exactly.
All right. So now let's talk about the elephant in the room.
AI.
AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, they talk about using AI tools to create content. And apparently these are the same tools they use to generate over $600,000 per month.
Yeah, that's a big number.
I mean, that's insane.
That's a lot of money.
And they're saying that they're doing this with AI.
Yeah, and this is where, I start to get a little bit skeptical. Because while AI is a powerful tool, it's not magic.
Right.
You still need a human touch. You still need strategy.
So you're thinking that they can't be generating that much money just from AI alone?
I mean, I'd be very curious to see how much human oversight is involved in their process.
Right, because they're not just throwing prompts into an AI and then spitting out content and making money.
No, there's got to be more to it than that.
Right, there's got to be some kind of editing and refining.
Definitely.
Okay, so another interesting aspect that they talk about is targeting buyers in foreign countries.
Right.
Where there's less competition.
And this is something that, I'm particularly interested in because I've been thinking about.
Yeah, you mentioned wanting to learn more about the Spanish-speaking markets, right?
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
because if you can tap into a market where there's not as much competition, you have a better chance of standing out.
Right, you're not competing with everybody and their brother. who's trying to do the same thing in the English-speaking market.
Exactly.
And in one of the training videos, Jason and Jonathan, they really emphasized this strategy. They were talking about how they found a lot of success by targeting buyers in countries where, you know, the internet marketing scene isn't as developed.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity out there in those markets.
Yeah.
But you have to be mindful of the cultural nuances.
Right. You can't just take what works in one country and expect it to work in another.
Exactly. You got to understand the culture. You got to translate your message effectively.
Right. And that's where, you know, things can get tricky, because if you're relying solely on AI to create your content
right,
and translate it,
then you might lose some of that nuance.
Right, exactly. And then you could end up offending people or just not connecting with them on the right level.
Yeah, and that could be a disaster.
Yeah, you could alienate your whole target market.
Exactly.
So that's something to definitely be aware of. Now, they do emphasize a sense of urgency.
Right.
The program is closing soon.
Limited time offer.
Limited time offer. They're going to take down the training videos.
Yeah, you got to act now.
So what do you think about that? Is that just a marketing tactic?
Well, I mean, it could be a legitimate reason.
Yeah.
You know, they might just be offering this program for a limited time.
Right.
But it also creates that scarcity.
Yeah, the fear of missing out.
So yeah, FOMO.
FOMO, exactly.
Which can be a powerful motivator.
Right. And sometimes it can lead you to make decisions that you wouldn't otherwise make.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Right.
Like,
you got to really step back and evaluate the program based on its merits, not just because there's a countdown timer ticking away.
exactly.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
We've talked about the program's claims, its creators, and even its marketing tactics.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a lot to think about. But here's one final thought for you to ponder.
Okay.
They talk about using AI for content creation, especially in those foreign markets. Do you think something could get lost in translation if you're relying solely on AI to navigate those cultural complexities?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I mean, AI is good at translating words, but can it really understand the subtleties of human communication, the humor, the idioms, the cultural references?
Right, the things that really make a connection with an audience.
Yeah, and if you're trying to reach a global audience and you're relying on AI to do all the heavy lifting, you might be missing out on those crucial elements.
So it's really about finding that balance, right, between using the power of AI and the human touch.
Absolutely, and ultimately you need to weigh the pros and cons and decide if this program aligns with your goals and resources.
All right, folks, there you have it, our deep dive into stealth streams.
Hope this is helpful.
We've given you a lot to chew on, so go do your own research, consider your own situation, and make an informed decision.
And let us know what you think.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this program.
Hit us up on social media.
Until next time, happy hustling,
Stay careful.
and we'll catch you on the flip side.
See ya.